I'm Erica from AccuQuilt, and today I want to show you how to sew together basted pieces from the English Paper Piecing Cube 1-inch finished sides. Now the cube includes 4 different shapes, and they all work together to make different shapes like you see out here on the table. There's a hexagon, a half hexagon, a triangle, and a diamond. There's also a mat and a great pattern booklet that comes inside, so you have everything you need to get started. Now I did an earlier video that showed you 3 different basic basting techniques for basting the fabric around the paper templates. So this time we're going to show you how to start sewing those pieces together to make these great designs. Now if you're new to English paper piecing, I would suggest starting with the hexagon. It's really the basic shape, and you're going to be probably most familiar with the basic rosette from your grandmother's flower garden basic quilt. So we're going to start with that. Now there are a couple of things you're going to need. We're going to be hand sewing, so we've got a needle and thread here. I like to use a fine needle that's got a little bend to it, like a milliner's needle. Something that's thin is going to work best for you, but you do want to be sure you can see the thread, the eye. And a finer thread, this is a 50 weight. You're going to want something that's going to kind of melt in, something that's going to match your fabric. You're going to need, of course, some scissors because we're going to be hand sewing. And if you're somebody who likes to sew with a thimble, this is a great chance to use that thimble too. I never got the knack of it, so I'm just going without a thimble today. And I like to keep all of these things together so I'm organized in a little bag, so I'm ready to take it off on the go with me. Now the last thing I like to use is a little clip. And I like to use this clip to hold the pieces together, and I'll show you how I do that in just a minute. Now before I get started, besides organizing my supplies, I like to lay out my design just so I have my roadmap and I know where I'm going. So I'm going to start with the center and one of the petals here from my rosettes. Our pattern booklet there has got 36 different what we call fractured hexagon designs to get you started, but there are so many designs that you can come up with. So I've clipped my 2 pieces together, and I'm going to be hand sewing these right along here with a little whip stitch. Now I've got a knot in the end of my thread, and really what you're going to try to do is pick up just a couple of threads on either piece at a time. And I kind of like to do the first one almost right on top of it itself just to anchor it in. So I'm going to get that started. And then just take little stitches, pick up a couple of threads on each side, and while you're going through, you're going to want to keep that needle straight across. It's going to give you your best little stitch with the least possible showing. If you're new to this technique, don't worry, you can either watch this video again, but we've got some other great resources for you. The booklet that comes inside the cube is going to have some great tips for you, and we also have this wonderful book by Qube. It's going to give you great basic instructions and some wonderful projects to make as well. Great. And when I get to the end, I like to do just a little slip knot just to make sure that everything's anchored. It's kind of the equivalent of a back stitch on your sewing machine. So I've got those 2 pieces sewn together. There we go. So now I want to go ahead and add another petal to my rosette. So I'm going to put this one over here. Now I'm right here. This is where it's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and sew those 2 petals together. I'm going to fold those here. I'm going to reposition my clip, pick up my needle, and go ahead, and again I'm going to take just a little slip knot right here at the very beginning when I get started, again to secure this for me. You know, this is kind of a work of love. This is something that you're going to want to last the test of time. So go ahead and take the time to make those little extra knots just to make sure everything is super secure for you. You're going to be happier long term with your project that way. We're going to take these. I usually take them a little bit closer together, but I want to get us to the end. get us to the end, and then we're going to see how we go from there. Okay, so we've gotten to the end. Open that up. Now I need to sew it onto my center. So I've got two things that I can do. I can either go ahead, knot my thread, clip it, and move on, or you can take your thread, tuck it down inside, just run it right along the cardstock. Be sure you don't catch that cardstock, and come out at the other end where you want to get started. That's going to cut down on making those knots. Now I can sew it to the center. So I want to go ahead and fold this together, and I'm actually going to fold my cardstock. Go ahead, reposition my clip, and now I'm ready to sew this piece together. And you can see how we're going to follow the same pattern all the way around. You know, one of the reasons I like to use that clip is it kind of helps me loosen my grip. And so if you're somebody who tends to have a little bit of hand strain, it's really going to help reduce that for you. Plus it'll keep it nice and lined up for you. So then go ahead, sew all the way down here, and we'd be ready to start again. Sew another one together. So that is how easy it is. Now, if you're working with some of our other shapes, you can see on these diamonds we've got these little tabs. Those tabs are going to actually help you keep your pieces lined up as you're sewing those together, almost like little puzzle pieces. So those are going to really help you. So go ahead when you're basting those, I mentioned it in the basting video, go ahead, leave those tabs on and let them just help you keep those lined up and ready to go. So when you're sewing these together, again, you can start on the outer edge, sew into the center, go back out, and then in this case I probably would have knotted my thread and moved on and started down here and done another V. So whichever shape you're working with, you're going to get the great feel. Again, lay out your little road map and refer to these great references. Again, there's the booklet inside the cube, English Paper Piecing Made Easy by Qube, and our other videos as well. Well, I hope you'll enjoy working with your Go Qube English Paper Piecing 1-inch finished sides. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we're here to help you cut time so you can quilt more.